Yo, what is up? 1.13 update. You are looking at the new Chieftain T95. This has been buffed in this patch and it is now a kind of a different tank. Now before we go into the stats, let's check out what has been buffed. Engine power plus 100 horsepower, 850 horsepower. Hull rotation better by 22%, so 0.17 to 0.13. Turret rotation dispersion 0.13 to 0.10. What does this mean? This means that the accuracy has improved while the tank is turning, and while the turret is turning, the dispersion is slightly better now. Actually, it's a lot better. The view range as well, from 380 meters now it is 400 meters, and in this game you will see 400 meters at work. Reload speed as well, nearly 1 second quicker reload speed, bringing the reload down to 7.5 seconds. Now this tank, I've actually had this tank for a long time in my main account, and I attempted to make a video out of this tank when it first came out and I miserably failed. I think I played 1 or 2 games with it with something like 400 average damage. I completely scrapped that video because I played so bad and I felt that I didn't have anything nice to say about this tank, so I didn't end up making a video about this tank. That was how I felt about this tank. But in 1.13, this tank has been buffed. This tank is now a totally different beast. The 400 meters view range makes it a very good spotter if you put optics on this tank like I have. I've got optics, vertical stabilizer and rammer, this is actually not my first game. I usually bring you my reaction video for my first game, but because I basically never played this tank, because this is my second game in this tank, and I think my fourth, this is my 4th game ever, including the first the first attempt at making this video a long time ago. I think I played this a total of 3 times. So I played this tank. This is actually my second game in the new buffed Chieftain. You can see the difference with that reload, 7.5 seconds or 7.19 seconds reload is making a difference, because it can it can fight now. You don't have to wait very long for it to reload. That's what I think has made it improve quite a bit. Now it is not like super good if you compare it to a lot of other tanks out there, but there are a lot of redeeming qualities there, including the shell velocity. Standard shell velocity, which is AP shells, is 1143 meters per second. Now this is the shell velocity of a lot of premium APCR shells from other tanks. Also, you are looking at 2.11 second aim time, so this should help it aim a lot quicker, make its shots better. Like I said, we were talking about the soft stats that were buffed. The turret traverse and the hull traverse buffed from 0.17 to 0.13, and the turret traverse 0.13 to 0.10. However, even though the moving accuracy has been buffed, the overall accuracy on this tank is still pretty terrible. As you can see, the dispersion is 0.35. 0.35 dispersion is in most cases 0.35 dispersion is like a heavy tank for other nations. So the 0.35 dispersion, even though the moving dispersion is better, but because the overall dispersion is 0.35, you're still going to hit the dirt a lot of times. Let's go down the stats right from the top. The speed of this tank, 42 kilometers an hour going forward, 15 going backwards. The mobility of this tank isn't very good. The top speed isn't very quick. Power 850 horsepower, and the power to weight ratio is 17, which seems to be pretty good on paper because a lot of other tanks also have this kind of power to weight ratio or similar. But for this tank it is terrible because this tank is actually pretty heavy. This is a 50-ton tank, or 50-ton tank compared to a T-44-100, which is only 33 tons. That is why this tank is a little bit sluggish in terms of mobility. However, you get a little bit of armor. The hull armor not so, but the turret armor 254 frontally, that is pretty good. From a distance it's pretty difficult to penetrate your turret frontally, but you can see there's a huge tumor in the commander's hatch, or is that the machine gun port right on top of the turret. That is a total weak spot. If you are fighting close distances, it's going to be targeted and people are going to panic and you're going to get hurt. So good turret armor, 254mm frontally, but it comes with a tumor right on top of your head, and that is going to be a weak spot. Fair enough. I think that is pretty okay. The reload time 7.19 seconds. Now this thing used to be 8.5 seconds reload time. With 7.19 seconds, this means with all your rammers, your food, your BIA, you can get this tank down to about 5.5 seconds reload time. That is absolutely amazing. It does 240 damage. Of course, a T-44-100 does 250 damage, but 240 damage isn't too bad. I mean, it isn't the biggest, but it is sufficient. It does the job. Now, don't mind me playing not so good. You can see me, I'm not playing really well here. I could have moved a lot sooner. I could have, done slightly better in this game, but you must don't be too harsh on me, because like I said, this is my third time ever playing this game, and so I just wasn't very confident in this tank. I wasn't sure what it was going to do, so I didn't want to be like over ambitious or try too hard. Also, if you will notice on well, you can't see because of the overlay, in this game, in this matchmaker, there is actually a Progetto and 2 Burasks on the enemy team, while on my team we only have 1 Burask and me. So there was a slight disadvantage in terms of the matchmaker here, because they have 2 Burasks and a Progetto, so you can easily get clapped and GG game over. So I didn't want to overextend myself, push myself too hard, so please be gentle on me. I wasn't trying to hide like a pussy. I just had to. As you can see, there's 1 Burask here. Very lucky for me to get him on fire. Imagine if there were 2 Burasks here, they would have made quick work of the Chieftain T95. So when you are playing any kind of medium tier 8, in fact, in today's matchmaker, in today's meta, you need to be wary. You need to be careful of where the Progettos are, where the Burasks are. Burasks do a lot of damage. They have 2 shells, auto loading magazines. They can do a lot of damage on you, take a lot of your HP if they catch you with your pants down. So you need to be a little bit wary, a little bit careful about what you are doing when you are playing medium tanks in this kind of open maps and in this kind of matchmakers where they clearly have a little bit of an advantage with more Burasks and more Progettos. You just can't simply be too aggressive and overextend yourself. But I must say, the Chieftain T95 used to be a total pile of crap. I hated it. I played it 2 times, cancelled my video about it and decided never to play it again. But I changed my mind now. The Chieftain is no longer a turd. In fact, I would say for people who don't have premium tanks. For people who are free-to-play players, there is a way to get this tank, and one of the ways to get this tank is through the bond shop. If you collect enough bonds, maybe it's 8,000 bonds, maybe it's 10,000 bonds, you can pick up one of these tanks, just like the IS-5 that I reviewed in my last two videos. This tank is one of those tanks available in the bond shop. If you are a free-to-play player, you have some bonds and you want a premium tank to earn some credits, this could be one of a possible candidate. Now, it's not the greatest medium tank, it is not the most competitive, but it is good enough for you to grind credits with. For a free-to-play player, this is going to be an incredible tank. If you can get this tank for free, that's what I'm saying. If you get this tank for free, this is a good credit grinder. In this game I made over 200,000+ credits, but that's because I have also 2,000+ spotting damage, 2,000+ damage, and then there was some bonuses here and there. Over 200,000 credits in this game. Playing in this tank, I was quite surprised, to be honest with you. What do I say about this tank? I think for a free-to-play player, if you can get this tank by researching it for using bonds, or if you are playing clan wars and these are one of the tanks that you can get for free, that is going to be great. As you can see, ace tanker in this game. I didn't do much, right? You see me just stay in one position using my new 400-meter view range and just sniping people from a distance. Got 2,500+ damage and 2,789 spotting damage with that extra 20 meters view range, 400-meter view range. Again, 270,000 credits or whatever, minus the bonuses, it was still about 130,000, 100+ thousand credits anyway without those bonuses. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.